Welcome to another Atchman Kings of War Battle Report, the Epic Quest. Game 11, Ratkin versus Halflings, 2,300 points, and the scenario was loot. So on to deployment. The protecting the Halfling left flank was a unit of Juggers, and behind them a troop of EJ Grenadiers. Off to the more toward the middle of the table, the howitzer was there, and also another troop of EJ Grenadiers. So protecting the howitzer and the EJ Grenadiers was a horde of forest trolls, and they had the Brew of Sharpness, so they were a Class A unit that I had to avoid. Beside them is a unit of Braves. In the woods is a unit of Halfling Spearmen. And finally over to the extreme right are the Stalwarts. Here's a much better view of the middle deployment. There's just so many units just stuck straight together. On the left next to the big building is a unit of Poachers, then a unit of Lancers. The Stalwarts are in the edge of the woods there. The Spear Spikes are in the woods, and then you can just catch the right flank of the Braves, and the Iron Beast is there helping to secure the middle. As you can also see over beside the big white building, there is a unit of Wild Riders there to protect the flank. Opposing them on the left flank is my unit of shock troops, along with the War Chief with the Aura of Fishes, then two hordes of warriors. Behind them is the ASB with loot, and then a regiment of warriors, and next to them is a unit of Vermintide. I've tried labeling some units this game, and I hope that helps you see the battle report a little better. Over here on the Ratkin right flank is a unit of warriors, and then a unit of tunnel runners with the Brew of Sharpness. Behind that little piece of difficult terrain is a mutant rat fiend, and both shredders are hiding there, and I think because I could line up on his howitzer or something. And then the unit of Vermintide, and finally in the woods there is a small unit of warriors, a warrior regiment. And then the Nightmares, and behind the Nightmares, or actually to the side of the Nightmares and behind a unit of Vermintide, I placed the Death Engine Spewer from the formation. So the Halflings win the roll and elect to go second, which I thought was a mistake, considered I was a lot faster than they were. The unit of Warriors goes full 12 inches and gets to the middle of the table. The Tunnel Runners sneak up along with the Mutant Rat Fiend, eyeing toward that objective there. The Shredder, I'm sorry, that's Mother Kryza. Mother Kryza will move up to support the warriors and such on her left flank. As you can see, the Ratkin are advancing quickly. The Vermintide both go 12 inches straight forward, along with one of the warrior units. The warrior unit here in the middle, it could not go 12 inches because it started out in the woods. So Mother Kryza stayed around to babysit it and to be able to throw lightning bolts up on the hill. The Death Engine Spear moved forward using the Vermintide as a shield. The thing is like you can see that I'm already on the tokens this game, and on the very, very first turn. Over here on the left flank, the Plague Monk / Shock Troops kind of lag behind because I'm going to use that little orc statue as a pick to maybe once he destroys one of those warrior units, I'll be able to finish off whatever destroyed them. Both warrior units move forward, staying online. There is a little spot there. I guess probably he could have charged the warriors there, but that would have been silly. Okay, so the Halflings basically stood and shot on this on their turn one, and this is after my turn two, and actually the start of the Halfling turn two. One of the units of EG Grenadiers goes ahead and charges into the Mutant Rat Fiend just to slow it down so that it doesn't really converge on the line there. I think he's trying to isolate that thing so that the trolls can eventually get it. As you can see by the dice, the shooting has been pecking away at the Death Engine Spewer. I think it's the Iron Beast. I didn't realize that the Iron Beast really was an Iron Beast. It has armor 6, so shooting at it's almost pointless. So I have to shoot at other things in his line. Over here, the poachers and the wild riders move up to get a better shot at the warriors that are fast approaching. The shock troops are actually over here. They can't get to anything there without having to turn. A little bad positioning on my part, but again, they were really there in reserve in case one of those units of warriors was destroyed. So in my turn, the warriors went ahead and engaged the juggers and did but a single wound to them. But they were now in good position to be supported by the unit of fast-moving tunnel runners behind them. I went ahead and sacrificed my unit of warriors to be able to advance on the line with hopefully the mutant rat fiend will finish off those EJ Grenadiers this turn. And as you can see, the howitzer is no longer there because Mother Cries have blasted it off the table. So the Nightmares move up to support and do a little bit of shooting, but their role really is going to be fighting this game mostly because of the presence of the trolls there. So in their turn, the Halflings launch a massive attack here on the left flank. A Lancers slam into a unit of warriors, and then the Stalwarts slam into another horde of warriors, trying to take those guys out. In the middle here, the second unit of EJ Grenadiers goes ahead and charges the Mutant Rat Fiend to delay it. He killed the first unit, but after that, it was I couldn't move, obviously, or I moved in an inch, and then here come the other unit to slow me down. But the trolls, countercharged the warriors this turn. Over on the extreme right, the juggers countercharge into the unit of warriors there. The Lancers absolutely wreck the warrior horde next to the Orc Tower. For a total of 14 wounds. I think there was some of that was shooting damage from the poachers and from the wild riders. The other unit hold fast with I think 6 or 7 wounds from the stalwarts, so it wasn't that bad there. But the one here on the left is in danger of buckling. So yeah, the trolls easily go ahead and destroy the unit of warriors that had dared to charge them. So now I'm really facing a middle of the table that is very intact, and I really don't have a whole lot there, as you can see, to oppose them. On the other hand, though, the juggers failed to kill the warriors, and that's going to be a bad thing because that, like I said, the tunnel runners are lined up to be able to support that unit of warriors and then maybe use them ability to do some other nasty things. Prompted into action by the wavering of the warriors, the shock troops go ahead and move into position to take advantage if the Lancers come through. The war chief, having nothing to do, he goes ahead and just charges into the wild riders because they're a fairly squishy unit, and so a great hero like himself should be able to handle that. In the very middle, the warriors fighting the stalwarts get some help by a timely flank charge from a unit of warriors, and that's going to help them out, even though warriors kind of suck at everything. But on top of the hill is the ASB with loot, and so he's going to be able to bane chant one of those units to help them. So over here on the on my right flank, the EJ Grenadiers had left. The howitzer was destroyed, so there was no support left for that unit of juggers, and that's going to allow the Tunnel Runner Regiment to move in and destroy them. So after this turn, the left flank of the Halflings no longer exists. You have Mother Cries of the Mutant Rat Fiend, a fresh unit of Tunnel Runners, and a very gravely abused unit of warriors who's going to run down here and probably grab this token since they have nothing else better to do. So in his turns, the Halflings easily destroy the wounded unit of warriors. They just punch through the line now, and the stalwarts destroy the unit of warriors in front of them, and then the spear spikes had flank charged the warriors that had flank charged the stalwarts, and so there's really nothing left of my left flank to speak of except one unit and an ASB with loot. It's really going to be a good game. As you can see at this point, that the Halflings are absolutely dominant on the on my left flank. I have 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units left there, and that is a lot of units opposing him. On the other hand, I have my war chief over there fighting those wild runners, and hopefully we'll get rid of them. All I could do in the Ratkin turn was to send everything as fast as it could toward the other flank, because, like I said, there was literally no flank left over on my left flank. So everything is racing that direction. The turn before, the forest trolls had went ahead and charged the nightmares, but the nightmares only took 6 wounds and survived. On my turn, the war chief went ahead and killed the unit of wild runners and starts turning to face the poachers on the hill. My shock troops, in a shocking amount of incompetence, went ahead and charged into the lancers and went ahead and popped their plague pots this turn in case of a countercharge. Bad news for the stalwarts as the Death Engine Spewer comes flashing into their flank. The plague monks / shock troops go ahead and countercharge the stalwarts to get rid of them. Of course, that's going to leave the cavalry around, but really nothing I could do about it. The war chief goes ahead and charges into the poachers up on the hill and starts to engage them. Since I did this several days after the battle, I don't exactly recall why the trolls did not turn after the fight. Maybe they were still fighting the nightmares at that point and couldn't. And this is just an after-the-shot show. But the mutant rat fiend slams the trolls in the flank, and the Tunnel Runners goes ahead and engages the Iron Beast. And that Iron Beast, man, it is a hard thing to take down. It's been the plague of every game I've played against these guys. It's just very hard, a very hard target. So believe it or not, the war chief killed the unit of poachers. Now that's 2 units he has destroyed in a row by himself. And in the next game we played, he destroyed one by himself in a goblin army. So it's kind of funny that how effective that one guy has been. But the shock troops go ahead and turn to face the lancers. This probably is not going to be a good thing for them. But the Death Engine Spewer now turns toward the flank of the unit of spear spikes that you can't see off to the right here. The trolls took a ton of damage from Mother Kryza and from the mutant rat fiend charge get in the flank. So the spear spikes just had to make a choice of which unit it was going to catch in the face or the rear. So they chose the mutant rat fiend, and the Tunnel Runners did not kill that thing in one go, and I think it did 2 or 3 wounds back to them. But it was on its last legs just because of what was happening all around this turn. I mean, it could catch it from the Death Engine Spewer or something if they happened to kill these spear spikes. So again, the brave lancers go into the breach trying to take down the dreaded shock troops. This time, the pesky lancers destroyed the very injured unit of shock troops. So the only thing left on that side is the war chief and the ASB with loot, who's sitting there hiding beside the lancers, hoping not to get trampled himself. I'm not sure what the spear spikes did. They may have charged the mutant rat fiend or something. But this turn, they're going to catch it. The mutant rat fiend in the front, Mother Kryza in the flank, and the Death Engine Spewer in the other flank. The Iron Beast goes down this turn to the Tunnel Runners with their grinding ability. That unit particularly has a brew of sharpness, so they're going to do lots and lots of hits every turn. Despite all the damage, the spear spikes did live this turn, and that allowed the lancers to get a rear charge on the Death Engine Spewer. So this turn, under the attack of Mother Kryza and the mutant rat fiend, the spear spikes are going to fold, and that's going to give me the middle token there. It could have kept going. I think we could have won another turn, but then I still had the Tunnel Runners and stuff. So whatever would have taken the middle one, I would have easily killed it. So it didn't really matter what was going to happen after that, and I think we called it. The brave Lancers lived to fight another day, but the Ratkin win the game. So this was actually the second game I played with this Ratkin army. I just played it to test out the new Smoke and Mirrors formation, which I think is quite good. The other game I played was against the infamous Holy Diver himself, and that game I'll post up as well. And so this is going to wrap the Epic Quest Game 11. Basically, it's two battles, but both with the same army. And next week, my army of choice is going to be dwarves, because I'm running out of good armies to use, and my win-loss record with dwarves is not very good. As a matter of fact, it's almost shameful. So I told my friends this week it's the opportunity to beat on me, because I have a free dwarf army and I also have a regular dwarf army, and so I have to play both of them, and I think it's going to be bad. So anyway, tune in next week and see what happens.